Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy and I help people with their breakups. And today I have another breakup story to share. And if you have a breakup story you want to share, please visit writemac.com. Send your story and possibly could give you a take just like this. If you want to take it a step further, there's FaceTime live coaching available, talking to me one on one about your story, your problem, and your breakup. If you like this video, throw me a like. If you don't like this video, that's just fine. If you want to throw a comment for this individual to help them out a little bit, shed some light on the situation, please do. And if you want to subscribe, punch that red button. If you want to take it a step further, ring that bell. And every time I have a live stream, which starting June 1st will be every day, that will update you. So let's get into it, folks. So me and my ex were together for 6 months. May through November 2018. Something that was supposed to be light and fun became serious because she was leaving in 6 months, but only found out exact date 2 weeks prior. So this was an unexpected love affair, which is sometimes the best kind. You went into it with low expectations to have a good time, connect, and see what happens, and you ended up falling in love. And that's probably why, because you didn't go into it with high expectations or wanting to get together long term. And that's really where you want to start a relationship, is to be light and fun. So kudos on that. My ex moved to Florida for work, and I'm in NY. But before she left, she said she wanted to stay together. Okay, so you're going from 6 months of living in the same city or same vicinity or same town to going into a long distance relationship. That is two different types of relationships, and there's going to be adjustments on each side. And in the beginning, it could get really tough really quick. And if you've watched my channel and watched how I talk about other stories, LDRs, long distance relationships, they have a shelf life. If you don't plan on moving where they're moving, or they're moving where you're moving, or eventually moving somewhere where you live in the same town, it's probably going to end at some point because people get sick of just talking on the phone and texting. Simple as it is. Which was different. Okay, so she wanted to stay together, which was different than her answers before, which was to remain friends, but she fell in love and didn't want to lose me. So she's making that decision. You're saying that she made that decision and you went along with it. So what I would ask you, what did you want? I tried ending it in August because of the friendship. So in what way did you fail in trying? Fact, but she came to my house in tears in some degree saying, but don't give up on me, please. Don't give up on me. When I brought that up to her, when I went to go see her, she said, you misunderstood me. And she said, I didn't want you to give up on the fun we could be having. Every communication can be a miscommunication, but conveniently here, people change the narrative of what they said and they remember what they want to remember. It's almost a case of cognitive bias. And they say, well, I did say that, but I meant this. And if she's saying that right now, that's what she feels that she meant. Okay, fine. He says, continue on. That was a big lie. So right there, that's a turning point in your relationship. You went from light and fun to falling in love to someone lied to me and it was big. So now you just took a chunk out of your trust, the trust factor in your relationship, and that's really hard to regain once that happens. So let's just keep that in mind and we'll circle back. We had a fight, and I believe she listened to her mother about starting a new chapter as friends. Don't blame her mother. Don't, you know, the fact that her mother influenced her in any way has nothing to do with the fact that she still made that decision on her own. So it doesn't change things that much. And you really don't know if it was her mother that did that too. So it's a guess. It's an educated guess probably. I already had plans to see her and she still wanted that. Well, of course, like she's more on the light, let's have fun, see what happens, and you're kind of like, no, I want to be girlfriend, boyfriend. Um, so the 3 weeks, so the 3 weeks I already had planned to see her, and she still wanted that. So the 3 weeks before I saw her, she was the one calling me basically every night, and I answered. I believe she weaned herself off of me, quite possible, and Snapchatting, commenting on IG stories and whatnot. So, I mean, if you're going into this basically with, let's be friends with benefits long distance, that would be just fine. Because that sounds like what she's doing. When it's convenient for her and she's excited and she's going to see you, then she goes all into the relationship. When you guys get distance and you're just texting each other, that's when she begins to go, well, maybe it's not the best thing. So it's called having your cake and eat it too. And this is what happens a lot in long distance relationships. It wasn't when I came back from Florida, okay? After there was less and less contact. So the lead up to going there was big. You had a pretty good trip, and then coming back was a letdown. This is common because everything sunk back in that you guys aren't in each other's orbit anymore. Um, the trip didn't go as well. New Year's Eve. Okay, the trip didn't go as well. Didn't go so well. New Year's Eve had a big fight. Then we went into no contact. Definitely too late. She randomly slapped me 12 days in. 10 days later was my birthday. She wished me one. 3 days later, my surgery. She saw it on IG and was glad I had it taken care of. So all these things where she's staying in contact. She still cares about you, obviously. She doesn't necessarily just want to end things the way it was. And there's not a whole lot of layers of crap here. You obviously feel like she misled you. She weaned herself off the relationship. But the real problem was she had to move from her job and make a decision to commit to working somewhere far, 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 far away from you. And that created a hurdle in your relationship, which I don't think you're going to overcome anytime soon. And even if these things didn't transpire, you saying what happened with her mom, maybe talking her into this, or her being hot and cold in certain aspects, at some point, at what point are you going to overcome the fact that you guys are that far apart? Who's going to move to whose state? Early February, she reached out to me a few times because I texted the mom about her father's birthday. My father's birthday. Okay. She reached out to ask my dad's birthday. All this was earlier February. Again, you guys still care about each other. You still have some feelings. You obviously have some connections through family members. Okay. That's good and fine, but it doesn't take away the fact of the distance you guys have between each other. We had a small text convo and I ended it. Had another surgery mid-February and she wished me good luck with that. Then 12 days later, again, she randomly started liking me IG videos at midnight, and then 9 days later, another like at 11 p.m., then 5 days later at 10 p.m. I'm not sure what the times mean. I guess if it's late at night and she's liking things, that's when she looks at IG and that's when she's been thinking about you and missing you. And then 6 days later at 7 p.m., very random. Okay, it's kind of random to me that you're keeping track of the times and the exact days. So that means you're very much invested in how she feels and what she's doing still, which is fine. But what's your next move on this? Then she stopped 2 weeks later. This is now mid-March. I liked 2 of her videos, and she immediately sent me a funny workout video. I responded with a funny comment, and she liked it. Later that night, she commented on a story. You posted mine, another small convo. So you're putting a lot of stock into your social media interaction, which is actually, in a lot of ways, passive aggressive. To like someone's video, how much does it really mean to you guys getting back together or misleading you in any way? Because those are things you kind of interact with a lot of other people. And I'd have to ask, how active is she in social media with other people? Because she could literally be doing that with other friends, family members too. Week after she commented on IG story mine, it was my scar. I had another convo. She was asking questions. I was just answering them. Then she went MIA, which she's done before, if I'm reading this correct. This is again, this is all passive, friendly. There's nothing that I've seen where she's actually said, I miss you. I'd like to see you. I'd like to get back together. She's treating you like a good friend or someone she really cares about and she wants to stay in contact with, but I don't see anything in these messages that conveys, I want you back. I miss you. I'm thinking of moving back. Found out by her mom she was miserable there. Okay, that's secondhand information, so always take that with a grain of salt. It could be true, it could not be true, but how does that serve you moving forward? Are you going to tell her, yeah, I was talking to your mom and she said you're miserable? And she was supposed to come home in May, but changed her job at maybe you don't want me to say where that is, but changed her job at this luxurious club, we'll say. Now she's staying another 6 months. Well, that's her prerogative, and if she didn't tell you she was miserable, if she didn't tell you about her job change, you're fishing around, you're doing detective work, and if she finds out about that, I'm not sure that that's going to bode very well for you. She might not be mad, but she might be wondering, oh, you were talking to my mom about my feelings and what I'm doing? Most people don't like that. She removed a set of photos of us late April. That's a big sign, isn't it? I did text her about it, and she said that they don't make her happy to look at it. I think there's definitely something here in her contacting you off and on. You're definitely on her mind. She still cares about you. You guys have a connection. But again, she's not willing to move back to where you live, and you're not willing to move back to where she lives. And now your distance is getting farther and farther because You're just doing these little social media on, off, on, off. But it doesn't take away the fact that you live a long plane ride away from each other. Okay? I did text her about it and said that they don't make her happy. Okay, she also got pretty nasty with me, saying she doesn't want to be with me nor in the future. Okay, that's pretty clear, but I've been done since I've left. Stop trying to convince yourself I still care about you like I used to. Our lives have gone in separate directions, and I shouldn't have to feel guilty about living my life. Okay, so if she said that to you, that's clarity 101. Take it, accept it, put it in your back pocket. It hurts, but that's your cue to move forward and move on. And that she was already mentally prepared not to be with me when she left. Okay, again, sometimes people see, oh, I don't know if that's true. Oh, she's really miserable over there. This is what she's telling you about your relationship. Put aside the stuff that she's miserable. Put aside the fact that her mother talked her into being friends with you. And right now, that statement right there, how are you going to treat it? He writes, clearly, that isn't true because of the fact she's still calling me and interacting me with like my girlfriend and the breakup to some degree. Well, you can believe what you want to believe, but you're clearly not boyfriend and girlfriend in the way you were for those 6 months that it was light and fun and you loved each other. Now you've been apart for quite a while. You've had interaction on social media. You've had some likes here and there. You've had some flirting, some cyber flirting. It's clearly not on that level. And if she made that statement to you, what are you going to do next? Say, oh, no, I think you're lying to me? That's not going to work. You got to take what she said, take it on the chin, and move forward and get up off the mat. Quit playing games. Like a lot of this, she cares less about the relationship than you do right now, and she's going to dictate terms, and that's not a good place for you to be in. She came home for a week early in May and unfriended me on Snap. Don't really know why. Well, if the statement you told me earlier that you quoted here, but I've been done since I've left. She's been on, it sounds like to me, she's on a different wavelength than you. You kind of still look at it like you could be boyfriend and girlfriend. She has feelings for you, and she looks at it like we're friends. Maybe she makes some flirty little comments on social media, but she just doesn't owe you nothing. So after that, I basically had enough of her always calling the shots, so I unfollowed and unfriended on everything else. Well, you took your power, right? That's what you had in your power. Moving forward, you stopped being the one waiting for her to tell you what's next. Good for you. Outstanding. She has 2 profiles, a fitness and a regular, which is private. I made mine private so she can't see anything, and I have mutual friends with her. Okay, one thing about the mutual friends, stay away from digging up dirt on that or trying to find more out. If you have mutual friends, stay away from the topic about her if you can. From what I know, our photos are still up, and also she still likes my stepsister's photos. Super weird and random since they're not like super close. I wouldn't read into that too much. Sometimes people just leave stuff up, right? That just means she's not bitter, she's not angry, and she's not holding anything. You had a 6-month relationship, it was really good. She's not angry at you, but I don't think she's at a point where she wants to get back together in any way. And it sounds like you do, but you want her to initiate it. I'm pretty sure I'm too late with everything as she has a new life without me she's used to. You're not too late. That's a bit dramatic, and that's not going to serve you moving forward. Bottom line, you had a good 6 months. Circumstances took precedent. She chose a job over continuing the relationship with you. You guys tried to make it work briefly, and it didn't work. Done. I really don't know what to do anymore. Move forward, move on, stay in no contact, stop looking at any of her social media, and take that statement, if this is quote unquote what she said, but I've been done since I've left. Stop trying to convince yourself I still care about you like I used to. Our lives have gone in separate directions, and I shouldn't have to feel guilty about living my life. That's the statement. That's your clarity. It hurts. Don't try to reframe it. Take it for what it's worth, unless she comes back to you and says, I'm really sorry what I said to you. But someone says that to me and out of a breakup, that's pretty crystal clear. Even if you don't believe it, she said it, right? I mean, what's holding you back from believing that's true or not true? Because she's been on social media with you? Let's get in reality here. I really don't know what to do anymore. Her mom told me that time helps, and that if I were to get back, she might eventually come forward. Well, stop contacting her mom. That's never going to go over well, okay? And the mom just feels sorry for you. The mom's giving you pity, And that's not a good place to be in either. The mom's going to go back and tell her whatever you said, whatever you've been digging around, and she's going to eventually get pissed off that you've been talking to her mom about her. That statement I just reread to you, it hurts. I get it, but you need to move forward. I don't think you did anything wrong here. I think the relationship took a turn, and she's not willing to make it work. She's not making any effort on her end, but she's completely happy with, sending you happy birthdays and checking out your Snapchats and keeping in touch. But she's not looking to get back together. You are. So in that particular case, you need to cut off your contact and move forward, man. Get your chin up and go into a new relationship with that light and fun kind of attitude and see what else is out there and start spinning some plates. So I hope that helps you. Please visit rightmac.com if you have a breakup story you want to share, or if you'd like to get my take. And if you'd like to take it a step further, folks, book a live coaching session. And starting June 1st, and actually even today, right after this, I will be doing live streams every day for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Thank you for supporting the channel.